An Airbnb exposes a guy
Yep.
for cheating on his wife. Now this guy's like, oh, I'm suing you. How dare you?
A guy rented an Airbnb. He and some buddies were going to go watch a college football game. And so he had let the host know, who's a super host. A super host is somebody who rents all the time, has 5 stars, nothing but 5 stars. And that's very important to people that are Airbnb owners. And said, I'm going to have a couple buddies and we're going to go watch the game and hang out. Okay. And there were rules on that particular home for how many guests that you could have. There's security system. The super host is able to have cameras and see what's going on outside the property, not inside. So what happens is he rolls in and he ends up bringing many, many more people, and they get noise complaints, and the police are called. And so this woman, the superhost, goes and looks at her camera system and sees there's not 4 people there, there's 13 people there, and they're having a party. So she messages them through the app and says, everybody must leave except for the 4. And he said, we're not making any noise, we didn't do anything. And so they get into a spat back and forth, back and forth. Well, under the rules that she had with him, she sent him a $960 bill for the additional guest. He refused to pay. So then she responds and says, look, I've looked at the cameras. Would you like me to send this picture to Teresa? Well, she'd gotten on Facebook and seen that his wife's name was Teresa. And it's this guy walking into the Airbnb with a very young, very attractive female that is not his wife.
Not Teresa.
And so then she goes, and nice bag. Where did she get the bag? And she zooms in on this bag. So should I send your wife this in case she wants this bag too? And so starts to extort him. Extortion is illegal.
Sure.
So yes, you have somebody who rented an Airbnb that then did not follow the rules, that then was told you have to pay more money. Now, what a normal person would do under those circumstances is probably say, here's the money, let's let this die down. For him to get into this war with her when she says, I've got these photographs I could send to your wife, he still fought with her. Well, what did the superhost do? She sent the pictures to his wife, who then got the photographs, who then filed divorce. So now they're going through divorce proceedings. Very expensive, very messy. And the question is does the guy that rented, the cheater, if we're going to use it, does the cheater have a basis to sue her and Airbnb? Because he's named Airbnb in the lawsuit also. And the answer is, yes, he does. As hard as that's going to be for your listeners to hear, you are not allowed under the law to extort somebody. If you find somebody did something wrong or you've got proof, you can't say, you give me money or I'm going to expose you. That extortion's illegal.
That's the quid pro quo.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, is he an idiot? Yes. Should he have been there with her? No. Once that was exposed and he knew what was going on, should he have just paid this woman to keep it quiet? You'd have thought he'd have done that for his own well-being. But he chose not to. It became public. He's now getting divorced, so now there's this lawsuit moving forward, and it's going to go before a jury. So your question is, from a juror perspective, I put you on the jury stand.
Yes.
And you're hearing the story. Even though under the law he has a claim for extortion and the wreckage of his marriage, which is causing him untold amounts of money, do you as a juror find for him or not? The law is going to be on his side.
The fact that the Airbnb host broke the law to try to get him to do something, and by breaking the law ruined his life, I kind of have to find in favor of the guy, the cheater.
Okay, so you're somebody that's a rule follower and a law follower. If the jury, if the judge instructs you on the law, even if you morally are opposed to the outcome, or you're like, oh, I wouldn't do that, or this is not a great guy, you're going to follow the law. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
All right. What about you? Are you going to follow the law?
I don't know. I mean, I like the thing you said about going ahead and paying her so it goes away, but my question would be, what stops her from asking for more money?
Extortion down the road again.
Yeah.
That's the hole you get into. Now, I'll tell you, as a trial lawyer, when we're doing voir dire and we're picking our jurors, we're trying to determine what type of juror coming from what background would be best for this case. And we focus group cases. My guess is if I were to focus group this case, that you would not want women on the jury. Would not want married women on the jury.
Because they'd say you shouldn't have cheated.
They're going to say you shouldn't have cheated. I don't care what the law is. I hope that your ex-wife gets everything and you're not getting anything from this woman. And they would not follow the law under that circumstance as instructed by the judge, whereas most men probably would.
And they're going to award the $900 to the Airbnb host.
Yeah. So it's a crazy deal. I mean, there were mistakes made by everybody. He obviously shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have taken somebody that wasn't his wife, but he also shouldn't have had a big party, got himself in trouble, got the cameras looked at, and then once it was exposed to him, should have just given her the $960 because now it's a huge deal. Anybody out there listening goes Google Airbnb host sued for cheating. It's everywhere. Wow. So now it's everywhere.
Yeah, that's insane.
Wow. Interesting.
Yep.
If he needs a lawyer, the lawyer who knows all. I don't know. Would you take his case?
No, because my wife would.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're like, oh, I'm not on this.
I do have to go home at night.
Okay.